Everyone, welcome to this BAC charity meeting. This meeting is being streamed online via the CAAP YouTube account. Please acknowledge once your name is called. Our presiding officer, Attorney Roberto Martin Benaventura, Lieutenant Colonel Valentino Janela, Miss Amneris Gabriel is online. Good afternoon, ma'am. Miss Diana Ines Briñas. Good afternoon, Ma'am Dayan. Miss Jocelyn Ching is also online.
Present.
And our end user from the ADMS, Architect Emerson Salas. For the BAC Technical Working Group, we have our head attorney Frank Edward Marty, attorney John Bo Masigla. Afternoon po. Attorney Edelisa Irogin,
Present
Mr. Alfred Destura, Engineer Lolita Hubay, Engineer Joferan Joseph Torrefranca, and Miss Maria Cristina Balonen. For our BAC Secretariat, our overall head, Dr. Rolly Bayaban, Irish Presyon, Engineer Sunny Villabert, Miss Melina Reyes, Mr. Thomas Duc Santos, our minutes taker for today's meeting, GK Aniscol, and other members of the BAC Secretariat, as well as our observers from the COA, DOTR, IAS, ASFI, and we also sent our letter to the PCCI, Mr. Chair. That's all for the roll call, sir.
Sir, we can hear you, sir.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm having some problems with the connection. For Attorney Frank to facilitate if hindi ako marinig ng maayos. So I understand the agenda for today are just presentations of the post-qualification evaluation.
Mr. Chair, for today's meeting, Mr. Chair, we will be presenting the post-qualification report for the Davao International Airport Project, Antique Airport Project, and Tacloban Project. Permission to proceed with for the Davao project, sir.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir, you can see your screen.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, Mr. Chair, and to the members of the committee. Good afternoon. I will be presenting the post-qualification results for the project improvement of passenger lane at Davao International Airport, and the ABC for this project is 47,819,531 pesos and 64 centavos, and we opened the bids last March 14, 2022, and the name of the bidder that we evaluated, that undergo post-qualification is the Runway Commercial Corporation joint venture with Pader Construction and Supply. So the calculated bid of the joint venture is 47,505,055 pesos 90 centavos. So here are the results of the evaluation. First, for the eligibility documents, field certificate of registration, the submission is responsive. Submitted a certificate of field jobs registration, which is valid until for Runway, it's May 14, 2022, and for Pader, June 22, 2022. So it is responsive. Of registration, Runway submitted SEC and the date of registration is March 19, 2003, with a registration number C13-25408, and for Pader For PADEV, they submitted a DTI Certificate of Registration, which is valid until June 26, 2024. And these are responsive submissions. For the business or mayor's permit, West submitted a mayor's permit issued at the Gupan City, and it is valid until December 31, 2022, while submitted a mayor's permit issued by LG Bungan Cotabato, and it is valid until 31 December 2022. So these submissions are responsive. For tax clearance, for Resinwe, the July 12, 2020, while for PADEV, it's valid until May 27, 2022. So these are valid and responsive submissions. So for pickup license, the requirement for this project is medium A category B. This is for building and industrial plant, and the submission for Resinwe is medium A license category B, A, while for PADEV is small B license category B. And they also submitted a joint venture special pickup license, which is medium A license category A for buildings and industrial plant. All pickup licenses are valid until June 30, 2022. So these are acceptable submissions. For the statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, for Resinwe, they listed 8 ongoing government infrastructure projects, while for PADEV, only 1 ongoing government project. So based on the listing, it doesn't, the projects, companies do not have negative slippage of 15 and no 2 projects with more than -10. So these are responsive. For the statement of identifying single largest completed contract, the submitted per LCC is the portion of 4-story 12 classroom L-type, which is in Teofilo Fernandez National High School. This is a building construction, and the project location is in Davao City, and the contract for centavos. So the submitted project is similar to the project to be similar to the project to the contract to be bid, and the contract price is also more than 50% of the ABC of the project. For the audited, so this is responsive submission. For the audited financial statement, Resinwe submitted. Resinwe and PADEV submitted the audited financial statement for fiscal year 2019-2020. It is stamped received March 17 for Resinwe 2021, while for PADEV, it's stamped received by BIR March 8, 2021. So these are responsive submissions. For the NFCC, both companies also submitted their NFCC for Resinwe in the amount of 2,460,800 460,008,242 pesos and 5 centavos, while for PADEV, its NFCC is 1,005,898,501 pesos and 49 centavos. So both of these amounts are more than the ABC of the project. So this is responsive submission. For the joint venture agreement, they submitted a signed and a notarized joint venture agreement. So this is responsive, and the signatories are duly authorized as well. So this is responsive. For the technical documents, bid security, the bid security is in the form of bid securing declaration. It is duly notarized, so it is responsive. Organizational chart, the minimum criteria as per invitation to bid was met, so this is responsive. For the list of key personnel to be assigned to the project, also they met the minimum required technical personnel as so it's omnibus sworn statement. The submission is responsive. It is duly notarized sworn. The duly notarized omnibus sworn statement in accordance with our form. For the certificate of site inspection, the site inspection certificate was issued by Engineer Rex Obsena, and it is issued to Architect Mark N.D. Puso last March 7, 2022. So this is responsive. For company ID of the person who conducted the site inspection, they attach the company ID of Architect Puso. So this is responsive. For logbook, they attach the CAAP logbook of Davao Airport and the name of of Architect Puso. So this is responsive. Bid bulletin is not applicable for this project. For the financial documents, financial bid, the submitted bid is 46,981,074 pesos and 37 centavos, while the calculated bid is 47,505 pesos, 455 pesos and 90 centavos. So the difference from the ABC is as to the calculated bid is 304,075 pesos and 74 centavos. So this is both the submitted and the calculated bid are within the ABC of the project. So this is responsive. Bill of quantities, the submission is in accordance with the bidding form. So this is responsive. Bid proposal, also section 9, bidding forms, responsive. For the detailed estimates is also responsive. They submitted based on the forms as prescribed by CAAP. For the summary sheet indicating materials, labor, and equipment, the forms used are the ones in section 9. So these are responsive submission, and cash flow by quarter is also responsive. So we sent a letter of our post-qualification requirements to PADER, and they submit per day. And the technical working group conducted the site inspection as well to verify the equipment and the projects of both companies in the joint venture. And here are the findings for the documentary submission. For the latest income tax and business tax, both companies submitted the business tax for the period 31 December 2021. That is for Runway and PADER, so responsive. For the business licenses, they submitted their updated SEC DTI registration, mayor's permit, tax clearance, and pickup licenses. So it is responsive. Latest audited financial statement, they just what was submitted during the opening, as this is also in conformity with our requirements. So this is responsive. Key personnel, all the key personnel assigned, they submitted all the licenses and accreditation, and all are valid and current. So these are responsive. So all in all, the bid proposal of Runway Commercial Corporation joint venture with PADER Construction Supply was evaluated applied with all the legal, technical, and financial document. However, the financial submission during the opening of bid is lower than the calculated bid, and as per section 34.4 of the revised IRR of RA 9184, the amount that will be used for the contract is the one that is in the lower price. So with that, Mr. Chair, the technical working group is hereby recommending to award the of passenger terminal building at Davao International Airport to Runway Commercial Corporation joint venture PADER Construction and Supply, being the single calculated responsive bid in the amount of 46,981,074 pesos and 31 centavos for consideration and approval of the committee, Mr. Chair. Sir?
Yes, apologies for that. I thank you, Attorney Frank, for that presentation. So we have here the recommendation for the award of the project. Do you have any further comments from the members? If there's none, let's have a motion, please.
To the chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I move to adopt the recommendation of PWG for award of the contract of improvement of passenger terminal building at Davao International Airport to Runway Commercial Corporation in joint venture with other construction and supply being the single calculated responsive bid. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Joyce. Do you have any second? Thank you, there being a reason and the motion is carried. Let's process the documentation for the award, please, Secretariat. Thank you. Jennifer?
Will comply, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We now go, Mr. Chair, to the presentation of the post-qualification report for the Antique Airport Development Project. This is for CY 2021, which is a widening of runway markings, runway shoulder grade correction, provision of stopway and RESA, and provision of manhole and RCPC. So, for this project, the ABC is 95,721,536 pesos and 6 centavos, and the submitted bids were opened last March 14, 2020. Sorry, this is 2022. Apologies. March 14, 2022 at CAAP conference room. So, the lowest calculated bidder is Megay Construction, and Megay Construction in joint venture with Durable Construction. Sorry, sir. So, the calculated bid of the JV is 94,616,008 pesos and 34 centavos. So for the findings, eligibility documents, PhilJEP's certificate of registration, both companies submitted the platinum membership of PhilJEP's. For Megay, it is valid until May 24, 2022. For Durabuild, it is valid until August 20, 2022. So it's responsive. For registration registration certificate, Megay and Durabuild submitted DTI certification, and both submissions are valid and current. For Megay, it's valid until June 1, 2025, while for Durabuild, it's until February 2, 2023. So it is responsive. For the mayor's permit, mayor's or business permit, for Megay, they submitted the mayor's permit by Santa Maria, Bulacan, and it's valid until December 31, 2022. While for Durabuild, the certification is issued by LGU Bacolod City and valid until 31 December 2022. So responsive. Tax clearance, both valid. For Megay, it's valid until 2022. Bill is valid until 6 July 2022. So responsive. For the requirement for the project is medium A, large category B for road, highway, pavement, freeways, airport, horizontal structures, and bridges. For the submission, Megay, it's medium A category A. Durabuild small B category B, and they also submitted a special pickup license for the joint venture with the category A, medium A for road, highway, pavement, railways, airports, horizontal structures, and bridges. All these licenses are valid until June 30, 2022, so responsive. For the statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, I submitted one project, government project, DPWH project, while Durabuild listed no for ongoing at this point. However, during the validation visit, it was found that Durabuild has undisclosed ongoing project with the L, which is in hospital project in Bacolod City. So the submission is non-responsive. For the statement identifying the single SLCC, we submitted the project construction of bypass road in Cagayan, Amulong, Cagayan. The nature is construction, and the contract amount is 48,407,845 pesos and 39 centavos. So the submission is similar to the contract to be bid, and it's more than the ABC of the project. So this is a responsive. Audited financial statement, they submitted the responsive documents. The FS for fiscal year 2019-2020, which was received by BIR last April 15 for Megay and April 14 for Durabuild, so responsive. Bidders computation on NFCC, the NFCC for Megay is 734,026,757 pesos and 8 centavos, while for Durabuild is 158,324,790 pesos. And both of these NFCC are more than the ABC of the. They submitted it, so it is responsive. For the JV, they submitted a JVA which is signed and duly notarized, so it is responsive. For the technical documents, technical documents for bid security, it is responsive. They submitted a duly signed bid securing declaration. Organizational chart, they also submitted a responsive submission, and it is in accordance with the minimum required technical personnel. So with the list of contractors personnel, they also met the minimum required technical personnel as per invitation to bid. That is responsive. However, for the contractors equipment units, they failed to meet the minimum required major equipment as per invitation to bid, and I will show later in my presentation the non-complying item. For the omnibus warrant statement, it's responsive. A duly notarized omnibus OSS was submitted. The certificate of site inspection was issued to Mr. Richards March 7 by Mr. R. Ranzado, the authorized representative of the airport, so it is responsive. Company ID is also responsive. They submitted the ID of Mr. Vasco. Airport visitors logbook, the logbook of Antique Airport was submitted with the entry name of Mr. Vasco, so this is responsive. Financial document, first financial bid, the offer bid is 94,616,181 pesos and 16 centavos, while the calculated bid is 94,616,008 pesos and 34 centavos. So the difference of the calculated bid from the ABC of the contract is 1,105,527 pesos and 72 pesos. So it's responsive. For the bill of quantities, it's in accordance with the bidding form, so it is responsive. Bid proposal is also in accordance with Section 9, so it is responsive. Detailed estimates is also responsive. They utilize our forms. For the summary sheets, including materials, labor, and equipment, it's also responsive in accordance with the bidding forms. For cash flow by quarter, it is also in accordance with the bidding forms. So it is responsive. For the post-qualification documents, the submission is for the latest income tax or business tax. It's for December 30th, 2021, so it's responsive. Other licenses and permits, they submitted all the requirement as per post-qualification audited financial statement, responsive. The key personal licenses are current and valid, so responsive. So here is the narrative for our other findings. One of the requirement as per invitation to bid, it's one bulldozer unit with 65 horsepower capacity. So this is our requirement as per invitation to bid. As you can see in the equipment column, under second item, it's one unit bulldozer, 165 HP. In the submitted list of equipment of Migay Construction in joint venture with Durabeel, the capacity of bulldozer is not indicated. It was what was provided in the capacity for the D6H. So this is the submission. I will just enlarge this. Sorry. So this is the submission of Migay under 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth row, the model year for the bulldozer is Komatsu and the capacity is D6H. So they did not indicate the capacity of the bulldozer. However, we verify the proof of the ownership of the equipment. The model of the bulldozer is PC 200-8. This type of model has a gross power of 155 HP and the net power of 148 HP. Thus, it failed to meet the 165 horsepower requirement. So, ito po yung naka-indicate sa deed of sale po nila. Ang make is Komatsu, same as the one indicated in there. And upon verification, hindi po siya 165 horsepower. So, having such adverse findings, the technical working group is now recommending to disqualify Migay Construction. Sorry for the typo. In joint venture with Durabeel Construction for the Antique Airport Development Project. To share. For consideration and approval, Mr. Chair. Sir?
Alright, thank you, Attorney Frank. So I have your recommendation for the disqualification of Migay Construction and Durabeel Construction joint venture. Do you have a members? Please can have a motion, please.
Through the chair,
Go ahead, ma'am.
I move to adopt the recommendation of BAC TWG to post-disqualify Migay Construction joint venture with Durabeel Construction for the Antique Airport Development Project for being non-responsive on the non-disclosure of ongoing projects with LGU and failure to the minimum required major equipment.
Thank you, ma'am. Do you have any second?
Second.
So there being a motion really seconded, the motion is hereby carried and the recommendation is adopted for the post-qualification of Migay Construction. Secretary, kindly just prepare the necessary communications for this. Thank you.
Comply, sir.
Through the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Clear ko lang po at sa TWG, sir. Rebid po ito, sir.
Yes, Ma'am Joyce. This is already a rebid, Ma'am Joyce.
And apparently, sir, yung nung nag-bid evaluation report sila yung single calculated bid.
Yes po, Ma'am.
Ano po next natin dito, sir?
Yun po yung subsequent ko sanang sasabihin, Ma'am, na considering Mr. Chair that we the BAC already approved the post disqualification of Migay Construction and Durabeel, we are now recommending for the declaration of failure of bidding for the rebid of this project, and if we can move negotiation under two failed biddings as well, Mr. Chair.
So this is the second failure already?
Yes, sir. Second failure, sir.
Alright, so we have your recommendation for the declaration of failure of bidding and for the conduct of negotiation for this project. Do you have any comments from our members?
To the chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I move to adopt the recommendations of BAC WG for the failure of bidding and negotiations. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Do you have a second? Thank you, ma'am. With that, the motion is carried. Let's already proceed with the recommendation, Attorney Francis.
Yes, Mr. Chair, will comply, sir.
Sige, with that, let's go to the last item on the agenda.
Okay, sir. So the last item is the presentation of the post-qualification report for the construction of the new for the project construction of the new passenger terminal building phase 2 at Tacloban Airport Development Project. So the ABC for this 9,412,207 pesos and 70 centavos, and we opened the submitted recall, Mr. Chair, that this is a renegotiation, and we opened the submitted proposal last March 2, 2022. And during the opening of bids, only 4 bidders submitted: Prime Gigabuild Construction Corporation, BM Marketing, PRRC Construction, and Finmat Construction Corporation. And Prime Gigabuild being the lowest calculated bid during the bid evaluation. So we are now we evaluated Prime Gigabuild Construction for post-qualification. So here are the findings of the technical working group based on the submission, as well as based on the conduct of site inspection by the technical working group in their site in Cebu City. So for the PhilJet certificate of registration, the submission is responsive. The certificate of PhilJet registration, platinum membership is valid until December 16, 2022. So for registration certificate, they submitted an SEC certificate of registration with business registration number A199811820 and with date of registration October 5, 2018. So this is responsive. For mayor's or business permit, the mayor's permit issued at Cebu City, and it is valid until 31 December 2022. So responsive. Tax clearance. The submitted tax clearance is valid until January 23, 2023. January 26, valid until January 26, 2023. So this is responsive. For the pickup license, the requirement of the project is large license category AAA for building and industrial park. Plan. The submission of Prime Giga is large B license category A, the same as our requirement. So, the pickup license is valid until June 30, 2020. So this is responsive. For the statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, they submitted 5 ongoing government projects, and the projects has no. The submitted projects have no negative slippages of more than 15%, or 2 projects with slippage more than negative 10. And we also verified with the DPWH whether they have ongoing projects, and we already got the certification as required by the board for considering that this will be presented to the board. We already got the certification that they do not have negative slippages more than 15%, or 2 projects with negative 10%. And all the projects as indicated in their submission are also the projects submitted, reflected in the DPWH certification. So it is responsive. For the SLCC, the submitted project is the construction of the Holy Angels Professional School. And this is a school building construction Pampanga with a contract amount of 374 million. And the submitted project is similar to the contract to be bid, and it's more than 50% of the ABC of the project, so responsive. For the audited financial statement, The FS for 2019-2020 was stamped received by BIR 12 May 2021, so it is responsive. For the NFCC, the submitted NFCC is for in the amount of 4,950,627 pesos and 22 centavos. This is way more than the ADC of the project. So this is responsive. Joint venture agreement not applicable. For the technical documents, bid security, they submitted a duly notarized bid securing declaration or chart. The required technical personnel were met, so it's responsive. For the key personnel, it is in accordance with our requirement as per invitation to bid, so it is responsive. For the list of contractors' equipment, all the equipment also as indicated in our invitation to bid were also provided, and we verified during the inspection as well, so it is responsive. For the omnibus sworn statement, duly notarized omnibus sworn statement was submitted, so it is responsive. For the certificate of site inspection, they just resubmitted the site inspection which they conducted during the first bidding of this project. It is responsive. For the photocopy of the company ID of the one who conducted the site inspection was also attached. It is responsive. And for the visitor logbook, the visitor's logbook of CAAP Tacloban was attached together. Indicating the name of the person who conducted the site inspection. So this is responsive. For the financial bid, the offered bid applying the discount is 533,982,226 pesos and 56 centavos. After bid calculation, the calculated bid amount is 536,302,226 pesos and 56 centavos. So the calculated bid is now higher than the offered bid. So, but both the offered and the calculated bid are within the ADC of the project. For bill of quantities in accordance with our the submission is in accordance with our bidding forms, so it is responsive. For the bid proposal, it's also in accordance with our bidding forms, it is responsive. For the DUPA, they submitted the DUPA in conformity with what is indicated in our bidding form, so it is responsive. For summary sheet indicating materials, labor, and equipment, all the forms are complied. All the submissions are in conformity with our forms, bidding forms, so it's responsive. For cash flow by quarter, it's also in accordance with the bidding forms. Documents, they submitted yesterday as well, the post-qualification documents. First is the income tax or business tax returns for the period February 28, 2022. So this is very current, so this is responsive. They also submitted the appropriate other appropriate licenses and permits, such as the PhilJET Certificate of Registration, pickup license, DTI, updated mayor's permit, and tax clearance. So all are responsive submissions. Audited financial statement, same submission as the one in the technical document, so it is responsive. And for key personnel, all the licenses and accreditations are current and valid, so it is responsive. So in summary, the bid proposed Prime Gigabit Construction Corporation was evaluated to have offered the lowest calculated responsive bid for having complied with all the legal, technical, and financial requirements. However, the submitted bid of Prime Gigabit is lower than the calculated bid, and again, per 34.4, section 34.4 of RIRR of RA 9184, the basis for the contract amount should be the one that is in lower amount. So, with that, Mr. Chair, the technical working group recommends to award the project construction of new passenger terminal building Phase 2 at Tacloban Airport Development Project to Prime Gigabuild Construction Corporation, being the lowest calculated responsive bid in the amount of 533,982,226 pesos and 56 centavos. Consideration and approval, Mr. Chair.
Alright, thank you for the presentation, Mechanical. So we have here the recommendation of the TWG, which is for the award of the contract to for the what's up the Tacloban Phase 2 to Private Construction Corporation. Do you have any further comments from members? In this time, let's have a motion, please. Covered the motion by Kelly and the recommendation for the award is hereby adopted. Please just do the necessary legal communications for this. Thank you. Do you have anything else for today's agenda?
None, Mr. Chair. Yun lang po for the working group. We will just present the materials for the Tacloban to the board, sir.
Yes, and we have a board meeting next week on the we will be presenting some other items.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Only
Yung Osamis ba kasama doon?
yes, sir. Osamis and Tacloban, sir. Yes, sir. Hindi na po siya considering na.
This was the one na deferred by the board because of they were asking for the negotiation parameters. Tama?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige. Alright, so we have a few items for board presentation next week.
Only two, sir.
Alright? Yes. Sige. Considering gusto mo items na agenda, maybe we can already adjourn the meeting. Maraming salamat po for everyone who attended, to our members for giving time. Thank you. Just notify us of the next back meeting schedule. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.